Channel. It's Sierra. Today I'm coming with a new video on how to again merge an SVG file into your Cameo software, and I do have the designer edition, and I bought this on, I believe it was swingdesign.com, and I think it was maybe $27, and they do offer a 10% off coupon. I will drop that in the description box for you guys because I know that $50 is quite pricey, but I was able to buy it through them, and they sent me the 16-digit activation code via email. I entered that in my software, and just like that, I was upgraded and I was ready to use the SVG files. So, of course, I'm going to go to File and merge in the black gorgeous woman that I have, and this one is loading a little bit, and it says queens are born in October. So it comes in a file like this, and I'm going to leave it like this. I do like it this way. I am going to make one for October, and also, as you can see, we have the other 11 months off to the side here. So what I'm going to do to remove these off of my mat, I don't want that to be cut, with my little girl right here. So what I'm going to do is click on ungroup. That's what I'm going to do. And that just breaks everything up individually. And I can just move that over off to the side. So, of course, if you do want to use another month, and you just pull it over, you ungroup this here, and you'll be able to move it as well. So what I am going to do, I want to keep the October, so I'm going to pull January back off to the side. And I want to adjust this so that it fits into my software, it fits into my mat, and so I can see what I'm working with. So what I'm going to do is pull her up. As you can see, it kind of ungrouped it. I'm just going to reposition everything, get it back how I would want it to be cut. Make sure all the words are in her hair and everything is showing. As you can see, her lips came off, and I can cut that separately in a different color if I like, or I can just leave it as is and just move it off to the side too. And we're going to bring up the queens, I'm sorry. Bring that up and just reposition that. And you can always make this bigger, the Q, because you see it's separated from the rest of the word. And just really put your own little spin on it. You can change the font if you like. I'm really happy with the way this font is. Actually, I do like this. This is super cute. And I have seen a few going around on Facebook, so I thought I would give it a try. And she's not as complicated as she looks. You just have to reposition. Make sure you have your page set up to the correct size of vinyl you're going to be cutting. My page is set up to a 12 by 15. That is the size of vinyl I'm going to be using for her to put her onto a t-shirt. So once I have done that and I got the position and everything how I like it, I'm going to play around a little bit more with it to get it just the way I want it. You just make sure. What I like to do is kind of just play with it as much as possible. You don't want to just do it and then you don't see all the words, or something is just not going to be cut out right. But you want to make sure you get everything in there. And it looks pretty good to me. Of course, we're going to have to trace it next, just to make sure we get everything traced. So what you're going to do is want to go and draw your trace area. Don't need it that big, but you want to draw the trace area. And what I use is my threshold, of course, and I take it all the way up to 100%. Moving kind of slow today. Let me try the arrows. It's moving really slow, you guys. Sorry about that. But again, you're going to take the threshold completely up. I do not use the high pass or the low pass. I don't need that. I don't even touch those. It's off. But the threshold will need to be to 100%. The way you're able to see how everything is traced. You see the words. You see her earrings that have been traced. So I'm going to take it up a little bit more just to make sure I get everything completely traced. Okay guys, so here it is. This is what I did. I took it up to 100% on the threshold. And when I did that, it completely covered up her earring here. I was not able to see that any longer. So I didn't want to do that. I want to make sure I get both earrings cut out. So I put it on 37% is what I have it at. And I just hit trace. And then I just move these things to the side. You can delete it. You don't have to leave it like this. Just for me, I like to kind of leave it over to the side. Just my preference, but it gets kind of cluttered. But you can see you can use her without the words. You can use her with the words. I think she is gorgeous with or without them. You can, if you like, you can just right click and just delete it. That way you won't get too distracted on what you're doing. So I'm going to go ahead and just delete these items off of my software so I can just focus on what I have here. So let's right click that. Again, you can right click, which these, or I'll leave these here. Let me just see. I want to adjust that. Okay, so I'll leave those there. They're not going to cut. So now that we have our trace, and you just want to make sure everything looks good, everything got in there, which it did. And what I like to do is kind of bring her over a little bit, not too close to the edge, but I like to save as much vinyl as possible. And for me, what I do is I draw a quick little rectangle or square or what around whatever I am cutting. That just helps me weed it out easier. I'm able to see the cut lines in this. So I did that. And then once you're done with that, you want to just go right click it and flip her. And as you can see, everything flipped all together. This is what you want to do. So now that we have her mirrored, we're going to go ahead and send her over. You can see everything is in red. That's everything we're going to be cutting. That is all of our cut lines. She is gorgeous. You see her earrings, just her profile, just everything. I just love these SVGs. I just really love them. So I'm super glad I was able to upgrade to the designer edition because I was hesitant because of the price. But like I said, a lovely lady on Facebook mentioned Swing Designs to me, told me they had a 10% off discount code, and that right there, I like to save money. I know whoever, out there, you guys, I know you like to save money. It's save a penny, save a dollar, wherever you can. So that's what I did. and it works just fine. So we have it set up in our software. My Cameo is already ready to go, hooked up to my computer. What I'm going to do is use a nice purple vinyl on her today, and I want to press it onto a t-shirt. I'm not going to do any different colors on this one. I wanted to kind of try it out first. I'm still learning. I'm still practicing. So I wanted to make sure I do it just right. But I am going to do purple. Scissor or Caesar HTV is what I have loaded it into my, if you can see, loaded into my Cameo. And it's all ready to go. Like I said, I have my vinyl glossy already set into it. So all I'm going to do now, all I have to do is hit send. And it's going to send her right over to my Cameo. So what I'm going to do is let her cut. I'm not going to let it play through because it is quite loud. But I am going to come back after I get it all weeded out and everything and show you guys what it looks like. And in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and get my heat press heated up, get that to the right temperature, and I will be back. Alright guys, I'm back. Here she is. I'm getting ready to start weeding her. Um, so what I do is like to start, you guys can see me. I like to start in the corner of the box that I drew around it. My hands are really slippery. Trying to hold on to it. I like to pick a corner of the box that I drew around it. You guys can see that. I have my little weeding tool that came with my Cameo. And I like to just take my time. Sometimes it rips, but you want to just go as slow as possible. You do not want to lift any of the letters up, so it's best if you just take your time and do it. That's what I do. My hands are so slippery. I have lotion on my hands. That wasn't a good idea. Not at all, not at all. But yeah, so you know, you guys pretty much know how to weed a picture or an image or whatever you want to call it. Like I said, you just take your time, go nice and slow with it. You see it. Can you see that? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and I need to go wash my hands, and my hands are super slippery. Just take my time and weed her out. And when I finish, I'll be back to show you what she looks like. Alright guys, I am finished. Got her all weeded out. Now it is quite time consuming, but it's well worth it with the finished product. So this is what she looks like. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And this is purple glossy, I would say Caesar vinyl, HTV, heat transfer vinyl, of course. As you can see, came out beautifully. So what I'm going to do now is go on over to my heat press. It should be at its correct temperature. I have a gray, just a regular gray women's t-shirt that I'm going to press her on today, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, so I got my shirt. I did a pre-press on it to get out any wrinkles. I have my gorgeous girl here. I'm just going to put her, try to get it, if you guys can see that. Sorry if I'm blocking the camera. Get her as centered as possible. I know you can't see that right now, but I will show you guys here in a second. So I'm just trying to make sure she's centered and looks good. And I have my heat presses nice and hot. And of course, I have my Teflon sheets. I can't talk, you guys, in real life. Like, I can really talk, but okay. Anyway, so here's, I think it looks pretty good. I'll show you guys what it looks like. And that's a gray. It's a regular gray t-shirt I'm using. Again, the purple vinyl that I have. You guys can see that. So I'm going to put that back down. Okay, so I think she looks pretty good. Just want to be on the safe side. Make sure it's straight and not crooked. I know someone left me a comment about folding a t-shirt. I'm going to have to try that in one of my videos. I guess that helps with making sure everything is aligned correctly and it's straight and not crooked. So I'm going to have to take their advice. I can't remember their name, but I know they mentioned it, and I am going to try that. Alright, so I think that looks pretty darn good. Just scoot over a tad bit more. Bring her up a smidge. And I think that looks pretty centered. So I am going to put my Teflon sheet over just to protect it, the t-shirt, and to protect the backing on the vinyl. So I'm going to give it a quick 15-second press on that. That's usually the time I use for all of my t-shirts, 15 seconds. And then I will peel the backing off and again do another 15-second press just to make sure there's no lifting. And I do continue to use my Teflon sheet in that process as well. And I have the little swing away heat press, and that really comes in handy. Keeps it out of the way so you don't get burned. So I'm going to just peel her nice and slow. Of course, we just did a quick 15-second press, so you want to do it as slow as possible to make sure there is no lifting. And then we'll do the second press just to make sure everything is down and smooth. So there we are. And again, I'm going to just fix that. She looks really good. Again, I'm going to cover her up with my Teflon sheet, you guys, and do another 15-second press. I have to use 2 hands with this thing. I adjusted my pressure and everything, but it's still kind of heavy. But you guys get what I'm trying to do here. So another 15-second press is what I'm going to do for her. And that should be pretty good. Don't want to do it too long. Definitely don't want to burn anything, but that's why we have the Teflon sheet to protect the shirt and to protect your image. Alright guys, so this is what she looks like. And again, I think it turned out really, really, really good. I'm loving using the SVG files. It is purple. It does look kind of blue on the screen, on the camera. But it is purple vinyl that I did use. And that's the HTV vinyl. And it came out really good. So if you guys want to see more videos from me, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys next time.